I was raped May 8th. Let's just be clear. I can go on and give you that. May 8th, 2001. So I was diagnosed with HIV 6 months later. I spent my life in the closet after the rape. Like, my kids would be looking for me. I'm in the closet. I didn't have to go to work. I didn't do nothing. Because I was uneducated. I had no clue. I got used to. So my kids, if I ate off a plate, I broke it. If I ate off a fork, I threw it in the trash. I didn't want them to be contract HIV. I didn't know that they couldn't get HIV that way.
So in knowing that, what were the stigmas you had against yourself?
Every one of them you could think about. I didn't know that they couldn't get it from eating from the same plate as I ate. I didn't know that eating all after me, they were not going to get it. I was dumb. That's why I don't get mad at people who don't understand, because they don't know. I was the same person and had it. I didn't know. I had no clue. So it got to a point that I had to go buy paper plates and cups and forks. And literally, if you go to my house right today, I probably got 3 real plates, 2 or 3 real saucers. I know I got 2 bowls. Like, literally, because we eat I'm buying paper. I go to Sam's and buy, or Costco's and buy the bulk plates, paper plates, and the big old box with 600 forks, plastic forks, and I don't know how kids do. They didn't understand why I was doing it at the time, but you know what I mean? That's just, yeah, that's what we've done. So it's by choice now, but yeah, it's by choice now.
So then what or when did you start learning about?
10 years later. I didn't know anybody that was HIV positive. I went to work. I went home. But it took 10 years of my doctor left his medical practice. Because he was going to, TRICARE? That's the military doctor. He was going to TRICARE. I have Blue Cross Blue Shield, so I had to leave because, he was no longer going to be seeing anybody other than military patients. And he recommended a doctor's office, so I went to that doctor's office. At that doctor's office, whether you were newly diagnosed or new to that office, they sit in a peer navigator. So 10 years later was the first time I ever met another person that I knew was HIV positive. 10 years. She walked in the room and she said, "Hi, my name is Freda, and I'm HIV positive. I was diagnosed, yada, yada, yada." And I'm looking like, wow. And she invited me to a support group. And my doctor, who was Black, she was like, "Will you do me a favor?" And I said, "What?" She said, "My church is having a Ash Wednesday service, but it was also National Black HIV Awareness, She said, "And I want you to come speak." I'm like, "Girl, I can't do that." She said, "Yes, you can." I said, "Okay." She said, "Will you just do it for me?" So I said, "Okay." So I went. Them folk don't know nothing I said, because I don't know nothing I said. I was slanging snot, crying my tail off. I don't know what I said to them people. Them people don't know what I said to them people. Like, I'm just saying that's how bad it was. And so they tried to pay me, and I was like, "No." And he was like, "Yes." And I said, "No. Give this if you don't want to take it back, then donate it to somebody. I can't take your money because I don't know what I said. I don't know what, you know what I mean?"
Right.
But at the time, it was a pharmaceutical rep she was a member at that church, and she came to me and she said, "What if we can," she wasn't a pharmaceutical rep, she was something higher. She was like the director of something at the pharmaceutical. She said, "What if I could get you a writer and a speech coach? Would you?" And I said, "Sure, let's just see." And I started traveling and speaking. That's what I was going to support groups and get like, but it was 10 years later.
Ooh, yeah. Common thread, make me weak. I gotta stay strong, tell my story, let my heart.